Okay, in this video, we are going to look at solving a right triangle. And the main point of the video is how do we find the other angles of the triangle? So we're going to be using trig, but we'll use inverse trig. So we're starting with a right triangle, triangle EFG, and angle E being the right angle. So got to draw the triangle, and then here's angle E being a right angle. And then remember that side E would be opposite of angle E. So side E is 14. And then we just have to name the other two sides. I'm going to say this side is F, which means this angle is F. And then therefore this is G. I just picked this to be 3 because it looked smaller in my picture, but the scale doesn't really matter. All right, so we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find this other missing side, and we will. But notice that we have two angles missing, so we do need to use trig in order to find the one of the missing angles. So let's start with that. All right, so we have, let's call this angle F. That's what we're looking for. So we know the side opposite of F, which is 3, and we know the hypotenuse, which is 14. So that's sine. So we want to use the sine of angle F is equal to 3 over 14. Okay, now to solve for the angle, we're going to use inverse trig. So we would say F is equal to the inverse sine of 3 over 14. So we're just going to type that into our calculator. And as I do, I want you to know that you will just get the answer directly from your calculator. You will not need to consider the quadrant that the angle is in because this angle is an acute positive angle. Even if we end up with an obtuse, in other words, greater than 90 degrees angle, it's still going to be positive, and sine will give us positive in quadrant 2. So the calculator will just give us our direct answer. There's only going to be one answer, and we can just read it from the calculator. We're just going to round to 2 places, so just for the heck of it. So this is 12.37 degrees. Now, if you didn't get this, when you type it in your calculator, you probably haven't changed your calculator to degree mode. So go ahead and, change the mode to degree, and then you'll be golden. All right, so this angle is 12.37 degrees. All right, and then let's go ahead and you got 2 choices really to find the other angle G. You could do 180 and take away 90 and 12.37. You can also do trig, inverse trig again to find it. So we're going to do it that way. So for angle G, we are going to need to use the cosine. So we have the 3, which is the adjacent side, and the 14, which is the hypotenuse. So the cosine of angle G is 3/14. So G is the inverse cosine of 3/14. So we will type that in, and angle G is equal to inverse cos of 3/14, 77.63 degrees. Okay, and I do like to do it this way because then if I put all the angles in the triangle, I can check my answer by adding 90 plus 77.63 plus 12.31, and my total of the angles will be 180 degrees. And it is, so it worked out good. All right, and then to finally finish up the problem, we do still need to find side G. I think the best way to find it is probably just the Pythagorean theorem. So we would do 3 squared plus G squared is equal to 14 squared. So that's 9. This is 14 squared. I would just find out G right away. Or I could do G squared, which is 14 squared minus 3 squared, and then take the square root of that. So let's see, 14 squared minus 9, 187. So G squared is 187. Take the square root of both sides and just use your calculator. You do not need to simplify square roots. We just want a decimal solution to the problems, and we'll just round to the second decimal place again, to the 100th place. So that for decimals is 13.67. Okay, so I put that in the picture, 13.67. And before I leave you, I just want to point something out that is really helpful, and it's a great check on your work, and hopefully it will make sense to you. So notice that the smallest angle, 12.37 degrees, is opposite the smallest side, right? And then notice that 14 is the biggest side and 90 degrees is the biggest angle. And then 77.63 is the middle side and 13.67 is the middle angle. And so that will always be the case. The smallest side, the smallest angle opens out to the smallest side, and etc. So that's a good check for yourself.